I saw the text at 2:13 a.m. Miss you so much from last night. The sender, boss Sarah, but my wife's boss was a man named Michael. 6 years of marriage shattered with one glance at my wife's phone. I'm Jake, and what I discovered that night led to two high-powered executives literally on their knees in a five-star restaurant, begging me for silence. This isn't just another cheating story. The betrayal I uncovered had a twist that no one saw coming, not even me. In the next 10 minutes, I'll show you exactly how I caught them, the shocking identity of my wife's lover, and the impossible choice I had to make afterward. You think you know someone completely until the moment you realize you never knew them at all. That gut feeling you ignore? It's usually right. I ignored mine for months, and when the truth finally emerged, it nearly broke me. Stay until the end for the most unexpected revelation, one that changed how I view relationships forever. And trust me, when I tell you who Boss Sarah really was, your jaw will hit the floor. From the outside, we were that couple everyone envied. The Tudor house in Highland Park, twin 5-year-olds with perfect smiles, family portraits where everyone wore coordinating outfits. Rebecca wasn't just my wife, she was my best friend, my partner, and the brilliant Harvard MBA who had recently made CFO at one of Chicago's top investment firms. At neighborhood barbecues, men would corner me with beers in hand. Jake, you hit the jackpot, they'd say, eyeing my gorgeous, successful wife across the lawn. I'd nod and smile, believing I truly had. Just 12 weeks before everything imploded, we renewed our vows on a Hawaiian beach at sunset. Rebecca cried as she slipped a new platinum band on my finger. Forever and always, she whispered against my lips. Later that night, I caught her staring at our reflection in the hotel mirror, a strange sadness in her eyes that I couldn't decode. When I asked what was wrong, she smiled too quickly and said, "Nothing, just memorizing this perfect moment." Now I understand, she was saying goodbye. The night we returned home, I found Rebecca in our bedroom, fingers tracing the faces in our wedding photo. Everything we wanted, right? I asked, wrapping my arms around her from behind. She leaned back against me and whispered, "It's beautiful." But she wasn't talking about our life together. She was mourning what she was about to destroy. The changes started subtly. Rebecca began working later hours, bringing her laptop to bed and taking calls in the bathroom with the shower running. The woman who once left her phone anywhere suddenly kept it within arm's reach 24/7. New security protocol, she explained when I noticed she'd changed her password. She gave me the new code immediately, 2258, but something felt off in the way her eyes never quite met mine. By month 3, I was essentially a single parent. I handled school drop-offs, soccer practices, dinner, bath time, and bedtime stories while defending her absence to everyone. She's breaking glass ceilings, I'd say proudly. These hours won't last forever. Then came that night, 2:13 a.m. I remember the red digits of our bedroom clock burning in the darkness as I awoke to the blue glow of Rebecca's phone on the nightstand. She was sound asleep beside me, exhausted from another strategic planning session. The notification preview showed clearly, "Miss you so much from last night. Can't wait for next time." Have you ever felt this way before? SX. From Boss Sarah. My blood froze. In 6 years, I'd met Michael Henderson, Rebecca's boss, at least a dozen times. A balding man in his 50s who collected vintage watches and had a booming laugh. Rebecca had never once mentioned any Sarah in leadership. I lay awake for hours, my mind racing through a montage of strange moments that suddenly made sense. Her new lingerie I never saw her wear. Weekend conferences with no brochures, hushed phone calls that ended when I entered rooms. Like dominoes falling in slow motion, each memory clicked into place, forming a picture I couldn't bear to see. By dawn, I knew exactly what I needed to do. I became a detective in my own marriage. First, our credit card statements. There they were, Dinners at Chicago's most exclusive restaurants on nights she worked late. Charges from the Pendry Hotel when she was supposedly in Detroit. A receipt for champagne delivered to a room at 11 p.m. Each discovery felt like a physical blow, but I needed irrefutable evidence. "I see this every day," said Victor, the private investigator I reluctantly hired after a week of sleepless nights. "It's never easy, but certainty is better than suspicion." 3 agonizing days later, Victor slid a manila envelope across his desk. My hands trembled as I opened it. The photos inside confirmed my worst fears. Rebecca intimately dining with a striking blonde woman at Oriole. Their fingers intertwined, gazing at each other with an intensity one recognized. It was how Rebecca used to look at me years ago. But who was this woman? No one from Rebecca's company I'd ever met. That evening, while Rebecca showered, I did something I never imagined I would. I accessed her work laptop. In her email drafts folder, I found dozens of messages addressed to an account with just the initial S. Messages filled with declarations of love, future plans, and intimate details that made my stomach turn. Then came the revelation that knocked the air from my lungs. These weren't messages to a male lover. The pronouns, the references, S was unmistakably a woman. After an hour of frantic research, LinkedIn gave me the final piece. Sarah Lawson, 38, newly appointed COO at Rebecca's firm. Yale and Wharton degrees. A corporate rising star with steel blue eyes and a confident smile that stared back at me from her profile picture. The truth hit me like a freight train. My wife of 6 years, the mother of my children, had been living a double life. Every kiss, every intimate moment we'd shared, had it all been a performance? Had she been suppressing her true identity our entire relationship? Or worse, using me as a convenient cover for her career and family expectations? I closed the laptop and sat in our darkened kitchen until sunrise, a strange calm replacing the shock. Now I knew exactly who Boss Sarah was, and I was ready for the most difficult confrontation of my life. I chose Le Colonial, the upscale French-Vietnamese restaurant where Victor had photographed them twice before. Through surveillance, I knew they met Thursdays at 8 p.m., always requesting a corner table for privacy. I arrived early, positioning myself at the bar with a clear view of the entrance, nursing a double scotch to steady my nerves. When they walked in together, the intimacy between them was unmistakable. Rebecca's hand briefly touching Sarah's lower back, Sarah leaning close to whisper something that made my wife laugh more freely than I'd heard in months. The maitre d' escorted them to their usual corner table. I waited until they had ordered drinks and their hands had found each other across the white tablecloth before making my move. The moment Rebecca saw me approaching, all color drained from her face. She looked as though she might faint. Sarah, elegant in a tailored black suit, maintained her composure longer, but couldn't hide the flash of panic in her eyes. "Mind if I join this strategic planning session?" I said, pulling out a chair uninvited. Rebecca's mouth opened, but no words came out. Sarah straightened, switching instantly to corporate damage control mode. "Jake, this isn't what." I cut her off by placing Victor's photos on the table like playing cards. 8 months, I said, my voice terrifyingly calm even to my own ears. 8 months of lies while I raised our children alone. Rebecca finally found her voice, though it emerged as barely a whisper. "Jake, please not here." "Where then?" "In our home?" "The home I thought we were building together while you were planning a different life." Sarah tried to take control of the situation. "This is my fault." I pursued her knowing she was married. "Stop," Rebecca interjected. "We need to be honest." She took a deep breath that seemed to physically pain her. "I've been struggling with my sexuality my entire life. I grew up in a family where being gay wasn't an option. I convinced myself I could be happy in a traditional marriage. So our entire relationship was a lie?" I asked, my composure cracking. "No." Tears streamed down her face. "I do love you, Jake. I've tried so hard. I love our children more than anything, but I've been living a lie about who I really am. And your solution was cheating rather than talking to me? She was afraid, Sarah said, of losing her family, her children, her position. The financial world still has its prejudices. What happened next still feels surreal. Both women, high-powered executives with graduate degrees and corner offices, actually slid from their chairs and knelt beside the table. Rebecca grasped my hand while Sarah pleaded in an urgent whisper. "Please don't expose us at work," Sarah begged. "I'll leave the company. I'll leave Rebecca's life completely if it means saving your marriage." "I don't want to lose my children," Rebecca sobbed, makeup streaking down her face. "Please, Jake, let's talk privately." Nearby diners were staring now. A waiter hovered uncertainly nearby. I stood, leaving the photos on the table. "Tomorrow, our house, 10 a.m., I said flatly. "And Rebecca? Don't bother coming home tonight." As I walked out, I heard gasps from other tables. For the first time in months, I felt something other than confusion or pain. I felt in control. The next day's conversation lasted 14 hours. With the children at my parents' house, Rebecca shared her lifelong struggle with her sexual identity, the childhood awareness, the suppression through college, the genuine hope that marriage and children would fix her. "I married you because I really did love you," she insisted. I thought I could make it work. For years, I did. But meeting Sarah awakened something I couldn't ignore anymore. After the initial shock and anger subsided, an unexpected clarity emerged. This wasn't about my inadequacy as a husband. This was about Rebecca's inability to live authentically, partly due to societal pressures, partly due to her own fear. "What do you want now?" I finally asked as dawn broke through our kitchen windows. "I want my children," she answered immediately. "Beyond that, I don't know. I just know I can't keep pretending." After several sessions with both a marriage counselor and individual therapists, we reached the inevitable conclusion: divorce was best for everyone. Rebecca needed freedom to live truthfully, and I deserved a relationship built on complete honesty. We crafted an amicable separation, prioritizing our children's well-being above all. No public blame, no bitter custody battles. Rebecca moved into a condo 10 minutes away, and we established a co-parenting schedule that kept the twins' lives as stable as possible. The hardest part wasn't the legal proceedings or even dividing our assets. It was explaining to our 5-year-olds why mommy and daddy wouldn't live together anymore. With guidance from a child psychologist, we assured them that none of this was their fault, and our love for them would never change. Their resilience amazed me. Within months, they spoke about having 2 homes with the same casualness as discussing their favorite superheroes. My personal recovery came in stages. First came the shock and grief. I lost 20 pounds in 6 weeks and couldn't sleep without medication. Then anger. I spent countless hours at the gym, punishing my body to exhaust my mind. Finally, acceptance began to take root. The turning point came unexpectedly. 6 months after our separation, I was helping Emma build a science project when she looked up and said, "Daddy, you laugh more now." Her innocent observation stunned me because she was right. The weight of living in an inauthentic relationship had affected me too, in ways I hadn't recognized until it was gone. I threw myself into rebuilding. I accepted a challenging position at a cutting-edge architectural firm focused on sustainable urban development. I discovered rock climbing, something I'd always wanted to try but never prioritized during my marriage. Each small victory, reaching a new climbing grade, completing a difficult project at work, seeing my children adjust and thrive, became another step forward. A year later, Rebecca and I have found an unexpected peace. At Emma's birthday last month, we hosted a party together without tension, focused solely on creating joy for our daughter. Seeing Rebecca more confident and authentic has helped me understand that ending our marriage was necessary for both of us. I've cautiously started dating again. Melissa, A landscape architect I met through work knows my full story. Taking things slowly has been healing for us both. The most surprising outcome? Sarah is completely out of the picture. She transferred to her company's London office 3 months after our confrontation. According to mutual friends, Rebecca chose her children over the relationship, a decision I respect deeply. This journey from betrayal to rebuilding taught me 3 truths that changed everything. First, sometimes the person you trust most is hiding parts of themselves, not from malice, but from fear. Rebecca wasn't a villain. She was trapped between her true identity and society's expectations. Understanding this was key to my healing. Second, living authentically isn't optional. It's essential. No one should build a life that isn't truly theirs. Rebecca's greatest regret wasn't discovering her sexuality, but the years she spent denying it, causing pain to both of us. Finally, trust your intuition. When something feels wrong, it usually is. Those midnight doubts I dismissed for months were trying to tell me what my conscious mind refused to see. The betrayal that once defined my life is now just one chapter in a longer story. Pain fades. Growth remains. Today, I'm a better father because I'm more present. A better architect because I understand that honest foundations are essential. And I'll be a better partner because I value authenticity above all else. What would you have done in my situation? Would you have confronted them both or handled it differently? Drop a comment right now and let me know. I read and respond to every single one. If my story helped you feel less alone in your own struggles, hit that like button and share this video with someone who might need it. The healing begins when we know we're not alone. And listen, don't miss next week's video where I reveal the exact words I used to explain our divorce to our children in an age-appropriate way that protected their emotional well-being. As parents, that conversation might be the most important one we ever have. Remember, when one door closes, it's not just another door that opens. It's an entire life you never knew was waiting for you. This is Jake from Chicago, signing off. See you next Thursday.